Hey, what's up? It's Peter again from Yaw2, and this time I'm gonna try some rolling with Yaw2. I will play DiRT 2.0 with the Yaw2 motion simulator, the Fanatec DD Pro, Fanatec handbrake, some counterweighting in the back. If you're interested in further details about the accessories, check our previous video here. And let's start with setting up the experience on the PC. All I'm gonna do on the PC is just open up the virtual desktop streamer, and then I'm gonna use my Meta Quest for everything else. And in the Quest, I open the virtual desktop as usual, connects to the PC. Yeah, just for comfort, I will use the PC accessories here. What we need is the game engine for Yaw2, connected to the simulator. Then we also need Steam. And DiRT 2. I'll just hit play and start in Steam VR mode and play. Continue launch. And then what I'm gonna do is just open up the motion compensation, click enable, apply, and then in the game engine I will select DiRT 2.0. Let me show you first of all the setup we have here. It's a pretty basic setup. We have tinkered about it a little bit, but it's a general one. So these are the multipliers applied for the certain inputs and outputs. We don't apply smoothing. That sort of creates a lag in the movement, so there's no smoothing in none of the forces. This is the yaw movement. It's inverted for some reason. We need to do that in this game. There is the pitch movement, the roll movement with very basic multipliers, and then the force long, which is longitudinal. It is set with these values on the pitch output, and force lat, which is the force that comes from the side of the device or the side of the car in this case, is applied to the roll on the yaw as well with these values. And also we have tried to implement some of the suspension forces only for the front wheels. For some reason that played out better than applying it for all the four wheels, but it's really up to your preferences to set it up. So we have suspension position, front left, front right, the pitch axis. That will create a pretty good feedback from the surface. One more thing here is I'm doing anti-jump in the settings, and I set it to 50 just almost randomly. The reason I'm doing this is that I have a yaw limit set up for the simulator at 22, which means that it won't turn further than 22 degrees on either side. That's because we use cables, and it's still the standard edition from Yaw2, so we don't have the slip ring to cope with cable management. I'll also set the power to only 35. That's usually enough for my weight. That's all in the game engine, so I'll just start the plugin, start manually if it loads too much, and then also start the simulator. And I will go back to DiRT to VR mode with double clicking the left controller's menu button, and then I can just sit into the simulator. So let's get into the simulator. With opening up these pieces, although I'm usually very lazy and I just jump into it, but that's not the proper way to do it. And then let's get back to the game. I'll use the control buttons of the steering wheel and just do a custom championship with a single stage from New England. I pretty love this stage, and I also recommend it for fellow beginners. This is the Hancock Hill Sprint Reverse with clear weather dry surface, of course, and I'm driving a Volkswagen Golf. First of all, because it's front wheel drive, not too powerful, so it's a little bit easier to keep it on the road if you're a beginner. But these recommendations are just everywhere around YouTube, and you just you can check these videos before starting off. That's no shame. I hope it's no shame. So first I will just do this track here, and then I will also show some movements on free roam, like bumps and drifts, etc., where you can see how the simulator behaves in certain maneuvers or scenarios. It might be scary that it's not in VR yet, but don't be afraid. It's gonna be in VR. If you're not satisfied with the seated position, you can just reset view in the game, or if it's still not good, you can grab your controllers, reset seated position in SteamVR, and then put the controllers down and get back into the chair. So let's talk about the graphics a little bit. You might see that it's a pretty low setting here. Based on another YouTube video, I found it really helpful to reduce the graphics so that it increases performance in VR. But it's not that bad. I think it's fair enough. So let's hold the handbrake and start. Now I gotta tell in the very beginning that I'm not gonna talk as much because I have to concentrate, especially because of my skills and because it's a quite hard game.
Into 6 right of a crest,
for beginners.
Keep in of a crest, jump.
The forces from the surface pretty good. I can feel the vibration and some of the pitch and roll movement of the
turn 3 left
of the surface.
90. Middle of a crest, jump into 4 right long.
Also, obviously, pitch movement from going uphill. That's what I expected from the simulator.
Opens of a jump.
These jumps are my favorite. I might have not been fast enough, but in general, these jumps, you might have another one here. Yeah. So I feel the elevation. I feel when I go up into the air, because suddenly all the forces, the vibration from the surface just disappears, and then it comes back when I hit the ground again.
4 right long, opens 100. Slow fall left long into turn unseen, very tight hairpin right. AT. 6 left. Opens 70
Might
of
have been
crest.
better.
Caution, turn 5 left of a crest.
Also, vibration from the wheel is good. I like it.
80 of a crest.
But definitely much more force is coming from the simulator.
20, turn one left long over double junction. 80. Turn two left. Into three right long. 20, turn one right.
Okay.
80,
I was just gonna
turn
say
square
that
right.
this track is very good for beginners, but well, it might be, but the skills might be even lower than beginner skills.
Turn one left. 50.
What I heard from other YouTubers, which is, well, kind of obvious, that you should use semi-automatic gearing as a beginner, and you should definitely use switching back
Into
sometimes.
6 left. And keep middle of a crest. Into caution for
That
right
helps a
tightens.
lot when
Upwards
steering.
of a crest. Stay middle over 108.
So okay, I just did that to show the motion of the simulator. No other reason at all. That was completely intentional. I wanted to do this. Let me assure you, this was planned.
Into 3 left, extra long, tightens 2, fast junction.
Hope I won't get any other surprises from the road. Well,
Into
it
4
was just a
right.
surprise for me, not for anyone else.
Into 6 left, opens over crests, extra long, tightens 4. Into 6 right, 50. 6 left,
Okay, and I'm finishing
50.
soon. Just one more turn.
6 left over
okay.
crest, extra
It's
long,
easy.
tightens 30. Over finish. 6 right, to stop.
Okay, and just off to finish. Cool. So that's it. That was.
Some spare time on this road section.
Oh, well,
Check the car and
I
tyres.
think this car looked better, but okay. So I'm not last. It's good to see that. So that was Dirt Rally 2.0 in VR with Fanatec accessories and the Yaw2 motion simulator. I pretty enjoyed this ride. I mean, that's a good experience. I hope you guys also enjoyed it. As I mentioned, I'm not a pro driver, not a pro sim racer, as you can see, but even on my level, it can be really fun to play this game. It's hard in the beginning. I admit this is a hard rally game, but with these accessories, you get very helpful feedback from the road and you feel as if you were really there and driving. The intensity of motion from the simulator can of course be adjusted to your preferences. It is just a basic setup that we have done here, but I think it's a very good one, especially for the suspension forces. Those are my favorite when you hit the bumps and jump. I really love that feeling. I didn't think that it can really realistically do that, but yeah, it's surprisingly good. Otherwise, yeah, limiting the yaw movement is practical because of these cables that will be managed in the Pro Edition, but not in the Standard Edition of the Yaw2 motion simulator. And I think it's also like, that's not on this video, but I tried it a couple of times without the yaw movement. It's also very good without that, because the roll motion is what adds on slipping and drifting. That what makes the biggest difference. In any case, I hope you enjoyed this video today and see you in the next one. Cheers.